So this is a very warm welcome to everybody. I'm so excited for a number of reasons. I'm excited because I know that it's going to be a mind-blowing session this night or this evening. So please, if you're here, like I said earlier, if you haven't invited the people closest to you, let them be on this call. If you know anybody who's young, who's middle-aged, who is elderly, they need to get on this call now. So please share it. And I'll tell you why they need to get on this call. The guys that we have brought for this event are not people who are storytellers. You know, let me use the local parlance. I'm aware that there's some of us maybe out of Nigeria on this call, but in local parlance, these are people they call talk do. So they say it and they do it. And that's what this event is about, making it happen. So your dreams, your aspirations, your goals, these are people that I personally know. I've seen them do great stuff. And I've said, you know what? We need to hear your story. Definitely this event is not going to cover the entirety of their story. So we're going to get some nuggets from them, hear their stories. It is going to, you can hear from my voice, I'm extremely excited. And I do hope you are excited as I am. So what I'm going to say to you is this. Please share this link. Fisaya, I can hear some noise. If you can help me mute people, share this link right away. Get your notepad ready, either your iPad, your tablet, your phone. There are going to be gems from this session that you don't want to miss. These are guys that are making their aspirations into reality. And so this is a real life. It's not somebody coming to give you textbook answers or talking over your heads. No, we're going to be getting real life examples that you would take from here and begin to run with. So it's going to be great. So let me just quickly go into why are we here? For many of you, you've attended some of our events in the past. For some of you, this might be your first event, but I assure you, you are in the best place you can be in the whole world at this time. So who we are Inspired for Impact. Our vision is to see individuals thrive in their careers and their entire fields of endeavors. What we aim to do is to give them the essential support, like we're doing with this event, experience, and the skills to succeed and lead in a world that is constantly evolving. So you might look at the profiles of these persons, you see their pictures, and you're thinking, these guys are young. So you might look at the profile and you're thinking, these guys are young. And I tell you what, the things that made some people successful years ago, the people that you and I look up to, the dynamics have changed today. The principles the same, but the dynamics to activate those principles have changed and they continue to change. So you want to listen to people who are in the thick of these changes happening and they are making it work in their favor. I had a session earlier in the year, in fact, with some guys, and both of both of our speakers were in that session. It was mind-blowing to hear that the impact that they are making in the world. And we're like, no, you know what? You need to come speak to us at Impact for Impact. So that's where this was also birthed. So how we do it, we're supporting members, we're supporting people joining our programs, and we just want you to take charge of your career, take charge of your business endeavors, and just have sustained impact in your spheres of influence. If you could move to the next slide. So on the next slide, I'll just quickly tell you what we do in terms of, so these are what we do, but in terms of how do we express our vision and our mission. To express our vision and mission, we do have just a number of activities that we run. And those activities, sorry, I'm trying to get my screen back. I hope your screen is still on because I don't seem to see the screen anymore. I don't know if it's me. Kisaya, is your screen still on? Okay, awesome. It was me.
Yeah,
okay, so these are awesome. So these are the three key areas of expression of Inspired for Impact. So we have life, which is general life, like what we are going to be hearing this meeting. We'll have sessions that are focused on career professionals, and then because we are faith-based, we also have sessions that are kingdom-based. And a number of the programs we have, I have our annual My Journey, My Story, Living Inspired series. As I speak, please, if you have ever attended any of our events, please drop an emoji or a comment in the chat room. Please just drop something there. Use one word to describe the things you have gotten from us. Let's know how Inspired for Impact, our events, our speakers, how we've impacted you in one way or the other. I want to see the chat room buzzing. Please, let me see your comments. Begin to type your comment. Let's see. Have you attended our event before? Say if it's a yes, yes. And then if you have attended, how will you describe the impact that we continue to make? We have our book club. Next month is going to be a book club. For those who are interested to join, we'll send you the link and the details. You will join us. It's going to be a mind-blowing experience. We have every month, we start the month with new month prayers, 5:30 a.m. If you are interested as well, put it in the chat box. Somebody's going to contact you and let you have the details. And then we just have a lot of things, career mentoring. We have the boot camp for young career professionals. We started last year. I can tell you the feedback has been great. And then we have a devotional that we do on a periodic basis just to help you through your career journey. Next slide, please. For those of you who know me, I'm sure you can already see, feel, hear from my voice that I'm extremely excited. These are success stories that are really, really impactful. So I'm going to hand over so that I don't take over with my excitement. I'm going to hand over to the delectable Fisayo Patrick, who has graciously agreed to host today's event. She's a social media influencer. She's Fisayo, I'll allow you to use 1 minute to describe yourself so that I might not be able to do justice to it. But if you need somebody to put you through a social media space, Fisayo is your lady. Over to you, Fisayo. If you can, please help me give Fisayo a virtual clap. Just use something on the chat group to welcome Fisayo as she takes over. Fisayo, over to you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Hello, everyone. It's to talk to you. Please, I hope you can hear me. I'm not using a microphone. I hope you can hear me.
Loud and clear.
All right. It's so good to be here. It's so good to be hosting this Inspired for Impact. I'm part of Inspired for Impact for a while now. And I disappear, sometimes I come back, but whenever I come back, it's not a step for the new thing. On the series, the book reviews, and it's really that so like
Fisayo, sorry, let me interrupt you, please. Fisayo.
Yes.
So you can stop sharing. I'm going to make Favor post so that she can mute people. Because there are people that we need to mute so that you don't get distracted. So Favor, please, I'm going to make you host now so you can share.
You don't need to watch nothing. Ask Holy Spirit. He was there in the beginning, was his idea anyway. So he knows all the ways, all the things that can be done.
Fisayo, you might need to make Favor host because you are the current host, please.
Okay, I can accept my laptop. Is hanging.
Okay, go ahead. If you can mute people. If not, just go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. But my laptop go off anytime soon, so I hope.
God want it to be a glorious one. I want it to be sweet. I want it to be wonderful fellowship.
Okay, so we'll go right into what we have. We have
in that fellowship. There is a oneness that comes into it that can never be explained. That cannot be put in words. But if there is holiness, you never experience it. It always exists. So ask the Lord to come in the midst. Ask the Lord to be the man in the middle. Don't bring other people in there. Don't bring your ex-girlfriend, your ex-boyfriend, or someone else's person. Ask the Lord to come in the midst and bless, purify it, and see what will come out after that.
It's Academy. Academy is a great platform.
It used to be rising
because I've then amazing teacher, and is doing. He has worked with a lot of brands. He is a of old age global resources is a event planning company, and I have been to events planned by Oak Stage. And I'm not saying this because I know her. She has
Fisayo, sorry, maybe you need to call this person PCA so the person can hear you speak and tell the person to mute, because the noise from her is actually
we're struggling to hear you.
So it's difficult to hear you. Yes. PCA, please, can you mute? Whoever is PCA, please, can you mute?
Sorry.
Yeah.
You know what you would do? Please click on that on Onubi. Make Onubi the host so she can mute people. Then you can concentrate on speaking.
I'm having issues accessing.
Okay, I think the person is quiet now. Go ahead. If you're having issues, go ahead. Are you able to access it now?
No, my laptop is still, and only the slides are
frozen.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. Sorry about that, everybody. Go ahead.
Okay, so I was saying that she has planned very numerous interesting events, and she always delivers. I'm sure that they both have something spectacular to share with us tonight, and we cannot wait to hear them. Cannot wait to hear what they have to say. So I don't know if our speakers are available, but we would like to go to the first speaker right now, and that is Michael Yusuf. So please, if you are online, just give us, in 10 minutes, just tell us something interesting that you'd like to share.
Sorry, can you see me? Or can you hear me?
Yeah, I can see you.
Oh, okay. First of all, I just want to appreciate Pastor Victoria for the invite, because it's a privilege to come up here to come and speak. And thank you also, Fisayo, for the introduction. And I feel like this is also a platform, even for me to learn, because learning is a constant, endeavor. The day you stop learning, that's the day you die. So that's why we are here. So you said you want me to speak about what do you say you want me to speak about now? You said just 10 minutes to do what?
Just the first 10 minutes, give us key highlights before we go into the question and answer. Key highlights of how you made things happen for you. Just key success highlights.
Oh, okay. So thank you very much, Pastor Vicky. Thank you. So one of the things our major focus for this event is how to turn from idea to execution.
Yeah.
And for me, one of the things that I must make people understand is that ideas don't come fully formed, right? There's nothing like you have a whole idea, Then a lot of us that are even lucky to have a great idea, there's this disease that spreads around a lot. A lot of people have this disease, and they feel like when you have a great idea, that 90% of the work is done, and is a very bad disease, right? To really bring an idea into fruition, there's a lot of work that has to go into it. So, but for many of us, we don't get those ideas fully formed. So ideas don't come fully formed. It only becomes clearer as you work on it. So one of the most important parts of ideas is the first thing you have to do is only to get started. So you just need to get started, right? And you also have to understand that while working on the idea, that is, as you evolve, that great idea that you think you have, it changes and grows, right? It can never come out the way you started it. You have to understand it. A lot of the ideas might come out as A, but as you continue to work on it, you need to allow that idea flow. You need to allow that idea change, right? So there are certain trade-offs that you have to make while working on a particular idea. So just feel free to allow most of your ideas to.
That's what I'm saying. So if you want him to do his own work, who will supervise? You can go to me.
Mr. John, you have to mute your mic. Wow.
Keep quiet.
I want to be sure that people are hearing me clearly. So I don't. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you so much.
Please
Okay.
ignore the background noise. We're trying to fix that. Just go ahead, Michael.
Okay,
thank you.
Thank you so much, man. So you just have to understand that. Okay, so let me just give you a quick. I still have my 10 minutes, right? So I remember clearly that for me, I started an idea that was called Mentis Academy, and I could remember clearly that when I got this idea, thank God that most of us here are believers, so I can say clearly that I can identify with my source that gave me the idea, right, which is the Holy Spirit. But I remember clearly that the only thing I was given as at that time was just the word called like minds. And while giving that word, I thought, what does like minds mean? I had to, take time and also think about it, share with that. Something is breathing in my heart called like minds. So, and just a word. I remember clearly that I now begin to have clarity, like, okay, create a place for me where like-minded people can come and work together, where like-minded people can collaborate, where like-minded people can do great work, right? That was the idea. So I began to get clarity on it. But remember clearly that it came just as a word, which was like minds. And I remember that I had to sit down with some of my friends and just tell them that this is the idea. I'm looking for a name, then I need to create this company, and this and that. And I remember that one of my friends just went to go and check what like minds mean in other language. And we found out that, okay, like minds in Latin means mentis compos, right? And that was how we bettered Mentis that we know today. So I remember clearly when the company was registered, we registered as Mentis Compos, but a lot of people today know us as Mentis. You just have to keep that Compos, but we registered exactly what the instruction was, right? And that has now become whatever thing that we know about Mentis Academy today. So that just re-emphasized my point that ideas don't come fully formed. It only becomes clearer as you work on it. But the first thing you have to do is to get started. Thank you.
You say Christ really died. Go to Calvary. You won't see that we get our own way of putting our program.
Mommy, I just feel the shoe.
Please mute your mics. Please mute your mics. If you are not listening to the call, please go off the call.
That's Hope. Hope, please.
Sorry, I have to say this now. If you are not listening, if you are not ready to listen to the conversations, go off the call. You are distracting others. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much for that, Mike. What you said about ideas don't come fully formed is so true. But there's something you said at the beginning. You said that a lot of people think that when they get the idea, then they've gotten all that they need. And honestly, that's what we were meant. That's what we're taught growing up. That's what we're meant to believe, especially when you listen to all these motivational speakers. They tell you, once you get an idea, you have all that you need, right? But you said that we need to run first with an idea. We need to just get started. And as we go on, they form, right? Okay, so thank you so much for that. I really enjoyed it. But I just want to ask you just a little question. If you can do it in 2 minutes. I want you to explain to us how it was for you starting Mentis, right? I don't know if you had a prior experience building a company, but how was it for you building this? Did you work with volunteers? Did you work with staff? Did you do it all by yourself? What's the idea behind the collaboration with other people and all of that? What's the key thing that we should know, like the key challenge that you had while starting Make Sense?
Okay, for me, I had a background, that is, I have served under somebody for years, and I remember clearly that while serving, I did not have any ambition, and the only ambition I had then was to help that person achieve his own ambition. But while doing that, I was learning so many skills. I was learning so many things about people management. I was learning about leadership. I was learning about collaboration unintentionally. Even me myself, I was not aware that some of those things I was learning it, right? But the moment that time now came, that I got into that position to start a company, right? Some of those experiences now begin to function, right? I remember clearly that there was a time that when we started the academy, you know, a lot of people don't trust what we do. And I took something very powerful from Pastor Lumide Emmanuel, that he said that, okay, that if you are somebody that you are in the educational sector and people don't invite you to come for programs, people don't invite you to speak, he said, why don't you do your own program and invite yourself, right? So, so I remember clearly, because people, people were not coming, people did not know me, people did not. So what I just did was that I started doing my own program. I would do my own flyer. I started talking. I started putting myself outside there, and people begin to listen. That, oh, this guy has something to share. Let's listen. So I remember clearly that was one of the thing that I had to do. So I started doing programs. I started speaking. I started putting myself outside there. Then people now begin to listen. Okay, this person really know what he's saying. This person really know what he's doing. And from there, then people now begin to come. And from there, that's how we pretty much started.
Well, I understand the parts of Pastor Lumide telling you, why don't you start your own program and invite yourself? That's good. So that's one of the key things that helped you. And you also talked about how people didn't trust you when you started. I think that's, in fact, I think Mrs. Ibawa has talked a lot about that for us. Many times I've had her speak. She has actually talked about how that happens. You do stuff, people don't trust you, people won't wait because you don't have track record, right? So you need to find out what you can do to help yourself up. And that's exactly what you've done. Thank you very much for this session. I'll come back to you for questions. We'll go to the next speaker, which is Mrs. Oluwatobiloba Fasunloro. So if you are up, please, you have the mic, go for it. In just 10 minutes, share with us the key strategies that you use or the key things that you think we need to know about making it happen for ourselves. So please go ahead.
Okay, I'll say yeah to. Hello. Hello, everybody. Please, can you hear me? Can you see me?
Yep, I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay. So I'll say thank you. You know, when I was, reposting that, such a huge honor to be here. Mainly because, I've always followed Living Impact. I've always followed Impact for Impact. So being one of the speakers, sort of very surreal, but I'm glad to be here. Thank you so much for having me. Okay, so let me just go into it. For me, turning my dreams, or let me say, turning my dreams into reality for me started with knowing, okay, I didn't know at first, but I've come to realize that your dreams are not for you. I've heard over time that you are created, if you think your sole purpose on earth is just for you and you alone, then you are thinking too small. So I've always just knew that your dreams are not for you, but to benefit other people in life. Yeah. So that has sort of just shaped how I view things. And I feel like I'm one of the very lucky favored people on earth to have come across information quite early in life, come across knowledge quite early in life. So where I currently worship, I joined maybe when I was 18 or 19. So that really helped me see things in a different light. I'd also grown up in a place where I was taught I could do things by myself. I could do things. I went to an only girls school where, you know, we're very gingered. You can do, there's nothing you can achieve and all of that. So that has really shaped how I viewed things. And I've always thought, oh, I could do things in life. Yes, things did not come easy, but then when it comes to turning your dreams into reality, I think Michael has said it, you just have to go for it. You just have to do it. You just have to just take the bull by the horn and just go for it. So one of the things that have helped me is digging deep. Like I said, I came across information quite early. So it made me dig deep into my sort of, will I say, existence. What am I here for? What am I to do with my life and all of that? So that has helped me to now say, okay, I started to, you know how you are, when you go to an informed place, you know how they tell you, look at your strengths, look at your weaknesses, and that really helped me in knowing where to focus my energy. So I took a deep, what's that word now? I took a deep analysis of myself. Okay, what am I wired to do and all of that? Then I found out, oh, I like to organize things. I like to plan things. I like to, you know, help people save time, impact people's life and all of that. So I think that was where things now became clearer to me. And then I found what I liked to do. And then I turned that into, I'm still turning it to, then I turned that into, you know, a business and all of that. So for me, it is basically knowing that your dream is not for yourself, it's to benefit other people. And then once you know your dream, why has that dream been given to you? Why have you been asked to do this thing that you are wired to do? So it's important, and I'm just a preacher of it, maybe because I've also heard my mentor talk about it a lot. Why? What is your why? So you are doing a business, what is your why for doing that business? And that will really shape your decisions, shape the steps that you take, shape you in the books you read, the conversations you have, the friends you keep, and all of that. So for me, knowing my why, obviously it wasn't a big picture. Everything was unfolding as time went on, but then it helped me to say, okay, this is what I wanted to do. Then I started, okay, who are the people in this industry that I can, you know, go and learn from? And that was how, okay, event planning, also good, somehow, I went for training. So it's important that once you find your dream, whatever you want to do, just like you want to be a doctor, you need to go for training. You need to go and learn about it. It's very important. You cannot just wake up and say, oh, I want to be a doctor, and then start giving people injection. It's not going to work that way. You need to go for training. It's very important. A lot of us now just wake up and we want to grow. There's a lot of work in the process. So for me, you need to go for training, even if it's just to learn the basics. And while you are doing that, please, it's important to develop character. So for me, how Upstage started, after internship, NYSC was one of the blessings of my life. It made me really reflect, you know, do a lot of things. And then when I came out, I started looking for a job. But somebody said, you have started, you have left event planning. Now, why don't you start your own? The first person that would give me a gig gave me because he saw that, oh, yes, he had that gone for training and all of that, but he was able to trust me with that event because he said, oh, you're a perfectionist. You have eyes for details. And that's why. So while you are growing, while you are building competence, build character, let people know you that when they put something, because when you're starting, it's not like you're going to get the biggest job. You're going to have to start small. And the starting small is people around you that will first of all trust you with little things, and then you can now package it and sell it to the world. So build character is very important. Then you can now, you know, start small and then start selling yourself is very important. And for me, one of the things that have helped me in turning my dreams into reality is the fact that I hope I've not spent more than my 10 minutes.
No.
Is okay, is having the right people around me through books, through other people's experiences, through other physical mentors. It has been a blessing to me. People that inspire me every day to just go for it. And I think that's one of the things that we are lucky to have these days, because when I started event planning, to be honest, there was no really information. A lot of people ordered information. So it was a lonely road at the time. But after a while, with encouragement from people that were just saying you can do it, the business started growing and all of that. So it's important that have people that mentor you, people that inspire you. Is very important. Have people that inspire you. Then build solid relationship, because the first people that would even try and talk about you are the people in your immediate environment. So I think that you should build strong relationship. If you see something is not serving you, a relationship is not serving you, you know where you are going, I think you should just cut it off, and then just believe in yourself, believe that you can do it. That's one of the things that has helped me, believing that I can do it, and just having the right people around me, then committing to excellence, knowing that, my first gig was something I did, like, even if they were not going to pay me, luckily they paid me, but even if they were not going to pay me, I put in so much effort in it, so much excellence in it, that, people now saw it, I'm like, oh, you can do this, yeah, come and start in, and then that's how the business started growing, and thank God for where we are today. So, yeah, that's it.
Thank you very much. That was really insightful. You shared some things that I also had in mind. That was really insightful. Please, if you have any questions, please put them in the chat. Let's have your questions. If you have any questions for the two speakers, please put them in the chat. It's not too late to also share this event with people on your contact list. So please share them. There's somebody that needs to be here in your network, in your contact. Please share this meeting link with them. Let them join us right now. And don't forget to ask your questions. Okay. The bit about building character is very important. I'm happy that you touched on that, because a lot of people these days focus on building technical skills, right? It's about technical skills all the time. Everybody wants to be good at what they do, forgetting that character is important, forgetting that there's place for your soft skills, right? There should be place for soft skills. There's a need for integrity, work ethic, authenticity, and all those things. And it shows in the work that you do. You also talked about how you looked deep down and you try to figure out what would work for you, and then that was how you came up with event planning. So for everyone listening, I think that is really important. It's really important that you look look inward and look for that thing that you are exceptionally good at. Imagine if someone like me did event planning. I don't like to be overwhelmed with a lot of work, and I see how event planners are always running helter-skelter trying to get their events to happen well. That's not something I can do. I just want everybody to leave me alone. I hate people pressure, right? So thank you very much. I'm going to be asking both of you a few questions. Some of them you've already answered, but I'm still going to go ahead and ask both of you a few questions. And so I'm going to start with first speaker, Michael Yusuf. All right, a few seconds. So I want to ask for both of you, starting with the first speaker, what strategies, how do you overcome obstacles and maintain momentum when pursuing a goal or project? So you're working towards a project, you're working towards accomplishing a certain goal, and obviously there'll be obstacles. If no matter how perfect the condition is, Nigeria alone, being a Nigerian alone, living in Nigeria alone is an obstacle. So you can briefly tell us an example or a scenario of a challenge that came your way while working on a project, and now you were able to, deal with that in just a minute. So Michael, please go for it. You're on mute.
Okay, thank you. So, okay. there are so many challenges that I don't even know. But let me just keep some. So it's what we face every day. So let me just give some context and some stories that I feel like it could help a lot of people catch on. So I remember clearly that okay. So there were some things that stood out for me that I think it changed the approach when challenges come. So I think I learned some lessons from that. And this is the fact that I remember clearly there was a particular year that I sat down with my team and we were planning how the year was going to go, right? Clearly. We are planning, okay, this is what we want to achieve, this is the money we want to make, this is this and this is that. And okay, we made the plan. I remember what we did that year particularly. Maybe we just said, okay, and this part of our business we wanted to make 10 million. I think that was just what our budget is, right? But I remember clearly that at the end of the year, so when we check our books, we remember clearly that we made, okay, our budget was 10. But just to put some context, so that one of the things that Pastor Vicky said we should try and do is we should not just be giving people fabu. We should be exact. You get that she doesn't want this meeting to be just motivational. But I remember clearly that at the end of that year, we made nothing less than 240 million in gross income, right? So now, what is my story here? I think clearly then I realized that this business is not my business. Like I I had to change my mindset that this business is my idea. No, there was somebody that gave me that idea, and I have to allow that person lead the business. Because if I continue leading that business will come to shambles. Because how me as the head of the business is saying 10, and we have capacity of making 240. Do you understand? So now this has now changed my approach to whereby challenges come. So a lot of the time, whereby challenges come, there are different parts to it, right? And the part is that you have a role to play. We clearly understand that God will not come to do what we ought to do for ourselves. Clearly, do you understand? We have a role to play while whatever challenges come, but we also have to understand that there is a source. So a lot of the time, whereby challenges come, money is not flowing as it's supposed to flow. This thing is not going. What I always try and do is to retreat. That's my own approach. It might not be yours. You understand? My approach is probably to retreat and check why we are doing what we are doing in the first place. Do you understand? So while we retreat and check, okay, what are our things, and probably go to the source of the idea, right? Okay, this is the person, this is why, this is our mission, this is our vision. Because now there's this one thing I want to put out there is that when it comes to business or challenges, right, there are two things that is involved. So we need to understand that creativity without business is victimization, usually. And okay, I mean creativity without business is victimization, usually. And business without creativity is a waste of time. Are you getting me? They go hand in hand. So you must have the creativity to do through challenges. And you also have to understand that creativity is highly dependent on your exposure. That is how exposed that you are. Because in business, your imagination plays a vital role in the evolution of your idea or business. So if you don't know how to imagine things, you might not get the creativity to, face some challenges or bring out some. So a lot of time, for me, when challenges hit, I try to retreat and check what is our mission, what is our vision, why are we even doing this in the first place? Because I personally understand, based on what our other speaker said, she said that you have to understand that that business is not just for you, is connected to other people, right?
Yeah.
So I think when you understand that, so I think this should evolve in your mission and your vision. You understand? Why did you even start? If your no, if your reason for starting a business is just to make profit, then you are in the wrong. You are in the wrong ship. If your only reason for starting a business is to make only money, then there's problem, because there have to be mission. Like purpose must be in between. So passion, that is, that's whereby, a few three P's that must be in between whatever thing that you are doing: purpose, passion, then profit.
Wow.
Right? So if those three is there, so you must know how to link it together. So thank you.
Okay, that's a lot. Thank you so much for that. Creativity without a business is victimization. And business without creativity is a waste of time, because you need to be able to creatively handle through challenges. That is very important. There's one thing that really struck me, what you said, the part where you said that there is a source. That's one thing that I also took away from Pastor Olumide Emmanuel, and it's one thing that I always believe in. There is a source. So the time when you start to think that you are your source, or you don't have a source, or you have everything you need to make it happen, that's when you start failing, right? Yes, God, like you said, also God will not do for you what you ought to do for yourself. That's why He has given us a will. That's why He has given us a mind and other things that He knows that we need to succeed. That's very profound. We have questions that a lot of people have asked, but I want the second speaker to also sort of answer this question as well. So what challenges did you face, and how were you able to scale through the challenge in your business, right? And don't forget that while you're answering the question, you also give us actionable points that people on this call can also take. So please, our second speaker, go for the mic. Thank you.
Okay, so when it comes to obstacles that I have faced, I think in life, just always sort of prepare for bad times, and that's why it's important to have thick skin as you grow in business. So for me, what has really helped in what's the word now? In overcoming obstacles is staying focused. Eyes on the prize. It's not easy. I'm one that I will cry, and after that, I'll ginger myself up again and then move. So one of the things I would say is eyes on the prize, and then always have a positive mindset. For me, I feel like once you have that mindset, like, oh, this is life. Really, in life, there is up, there is down. If you can take the good times, I think you should also prepare for the hard times as well. I remember there was I do. That's a different kind of business. Okay, so I have a sourcing company, right? And then I was supposed to supply some things for a gesto. And I remember one of the things was eggs, lot of eggs. And then I saw this post on Instagram, these people selling eggs. The lady is so beautiful and all of that. And then I contacted them. And you will not believe how I was scammed. I mean, I was scammed. I cried. Well, what will I do? I have to bear the loss, and that's just life for you. So another is having thick skin, having people that you can also rely on. So in that situation, it has happened. Of course, I have to refund back. So when they say that, when you look at your circle, like you cannot find somebody to, bail you out immediately, you have the wrong circle. So I think having the right circle, that's why I'm a preacher. I might not have plenty of friends or a lot of friends, but then I think I have some solid ones. So it's important to have good relationships, people that you can quickly call when something happens. And then when you see obstacles like that, when you see challenges like that, it is important to take a step back and see what went wrong. So for me, looking back, why did I get scammed? I didn't do due diligence on the person I was going to buy something from. I didn't search well. It was later. And it's important to don't work in isolation. You are not a one-man move. You're not an island. Don't work in isolation. It's very wrong. you won't believe that my best friend is someone that she's so good with detecting people that are fake on social, and I never bothered to even, because me, I was just fixated on, hey, contract has come, let me make profit and everything. That's why, really, if your only goal in life is to make profit, then you are not in it, really. So do your due diligence. Don't work alone. These are things that will help you overcome, obstacles, in my own opinion. And then always, once you know your why, it keeps you focused. So yes, there was a downtime, but then because you know what you are aiming at, you know what you are going for in life, you get back again and then you move on. So learn the lesson, make sure it doesn't repeat itself. And as much as possible, learn from other people's experience. You don't have to learn from your own experience. Always be knowledgeable at all times, be exposed. And I think those are the things that will help you.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much for that. You talked about being scammed and crying. I think in life, sometimes we need to cry like once in a while, right? If something happens, sometimes we
let it out.
And then the pressure, we release the pressure on something else, and then we spoil a different plan. So I think I also do that. Something goes wrong, I just cry, and then move on. At that time, I'm not even looking for any advice or help. I just want to share that here because I deserve to share that here for making such mistake. And that was amazing. Also, having the right cycle. This is very important. The right cycle is very important. Having reliable partners as well, right? I know that in your business, you do a lot of supply, you get a lot of, so having people that can trust you, people that you can trust also goes a long way. And also, of course, they always tell us not to work in isolation. As creative people, as business owners, it's important that you don't try. There's nothing that you're doing that is so special. The Bible says there's nothing new under the sun. So what you are doing, somebody else has done it. So what's the point in covering up something or working because you don't want somebody to steal your idea? It's important that we have that mindset. And finally, you talked about having a thick skin. For me, I always say have a shock absorber. If a challenge comes, don't die. Don't die of hypertension. Don't die from shock. Absorb that shock because life goes on.
Sorry, I think it's important to, what's that word now? Your adversity quotient has to be very high in life because life can give you bad goals. You can't say you'll be running into depression every time something happens. You need to, that talking is important. Like, be able to know that anything can happen. Life is a risk. Business is risk. So anything that happens, make sure that you can get up and then move on. Your adversity quotient has to be very high because when you're running business, people will show you. Human beings are funny, they will show you things. But then, so you need to let them know that I did ground. Yeah.
So much for that. Let's take a couple of questions from our audience. Somebody's asking, Evelyn is asking, how can a person deal with the fear of achieving his or her dream? Some people stop just at the idea stage and out of fear don't go further. I think our first speaker sort of spoke on this when he said that you just need to get started. The fear will always be there, but you need to live above fear. As Christians, that's one thing. The Bible says that God has not given us fear, has given us the spirit of power, of love, and of a sound mind. So that sound mind is what we should work on. Fear will always come, definitely, but just do it. And like our second speaker said, if problem comes, accept it and move on, right? Accept it and move on. Life goes on. Challenges will always happen. So I think that question has been answered. There's another question here. Okay, Samson is asking, this is for, what do you do when you have a number of ideas and energy, but have no finance whatsoever to bring your dreams into reality? Well, okay, please answer the question for us 1 minute, and the second speaker will also answer for us in 1 minute. This person wants to know how to go ahead regardless of finance. This finance is always a major source of concern for many people. Business, in fact, established business owners, people that want to consolidate, people that want to expand, they always have finance problems. Talk less of people that are just starting out. But one thing I would say is, like our pastor would always say, you are a capital for your business. You are the finance for your business. So please just answer the question for us in 1 minute. Right? How do they get finance to start?
This for me or Michael?
Both of you.
Okay, like you said, I mean, yeah, your first capital. If you think the thing can work, if you think that dream can work, then I think for me, it's always important. Yeah, with what I've seen in the little time I've been in business, I always just say start small. That sometimes you don't really need all that capital.
Happen.
Okay, I got muted, yeah. So sometimes when it comes to ideas, if you think they are awesome, they are so good, and then it really requires funding. There are some dreams that do not require funding like that. But if you think they really require funding, and I feel like there are people that do grants, there are people that do all these fundings that you can approach that would, buy into your idea. But you need to make sure that it's a solid idea for anybody to want to, invest in something like that. For me, in my business, I didn't need to do a lot of, capital, whatever. It was just, I was the capital, But I recognize that there are some businesses that you really need that capital. So I feel like you should approach people that give grants, angel investors, and all of that. Package it well, and I'm sure that they would, if it's something that would fly, because there are lots of grants. So I think that should be.
Okay, so focus on grants and people that give grants. Yeah, that's true. But your idea has to be solid for anybody with you any money. Your idea has to be solid. So for Mike, I have a question I'm going to ask you. She has already done justice to this question. So Michael, this question is for you because I know the industry that you are in and I know how competitive that industry is. So the question is,
Sorry, I can no longer hear. I don't know if that's from my end.
Yeah, I'm not talking. That's why I'm looking for
the. Okay, so while you're doing that, let me just check this in while you're getting the question from Michael. Just quickly circle back to that last question. And just to hammer on what Toby said, about you don't need capital for everything. Even angel investors want to see what you've done, even if it's not in line with that particular business. That's why when they say build character, build competence, also build character, build integrity. So even if I'm starting a new business, somebody wants to say, what have you done before? Why should I trust you? Who are the people you have in your circle that can give the recommendation for you? Fundamentally, there are a lot of things. So when I did my MBA, even the marketing professor, they would tell you don't need capital to start most businesses. Because for you to build your business to the point where you now need investors or it has to be very massive, it means you've started something already. And so for everybody who's here thinking these guys that are saying story, this amount of million, this and that, tell us your story. I was watching something on YouTube and somebody said, I think it was Ola of Lagos. He was talking about his story. And a comment, somebody said, so this boy will not want to tell us the truth now that he played pool to make his money. So that mindset is already there. That people who are making it, there's something else that they're doing. So just to add that you don't need to start a business first to begin to build your capacity, build character, let people around you know who you are, what you're worth, and then they'll be able to put something into it. Finally, I'll give an example of these guys that are into fresh fruits. I don't know, I keep forgetting their name. They've gone very viral now. I heard their story while I was in business school. The reason why they got funding is because when nobody knew them, they had competence, they had good records, and so when they were ready to be funded, LBS took them, packaged them well because they had a foundation that could be built on. The same thing with Sarah, the same thing with Michael, the same thing with Toby that we're listening to this evening or afternoon, depending on where you're joining us from. Thanks for the opportunity.
Thank you, mom. Sorry. Please let me quickly do one shout out before so that I can eat this night. Shout out to I see that my wife is on the call. Shout out Lara. So that thank you. Okay, while we are waiting for the question from moderator, so I feel like there are some few things that okay for me. There's a particular story that I want to share, and the story is that I remember clearly. So I need you guys to be with me right now. But that story I feel like is there are some key things that you can take out from that story. So I remember clearly as at the time we are currently at a place when we are in various businesses. Some people that know me, I have a printing press. I have an educational business that is a school, and we are doing this from a shop. That was where we started from, right? And I knew that there was I knew that it was time to like a little bit of increase. You understand? I knew that it was time. And I was having a lot of struggle in my mind that how do we do this? I remember clearly that there was a shift, and all I knew that shift happened was there was a particular night. So we had a job, and I had to do it overnight. And take note, there was a job, I had to do it overnight. So take note that some of the answers that you are looking for will come in the place of doing. It's not in the place of just waiting and looking. Do you understand? Some of the ideas that will change a lot of things for you will come in the place of doing, right? So it is what you are doing that can transform you. So I remember clearly that midnight, yes, I think that we were, yes, rain wanted to fall. So the whole place, then there was breeze, there was everything, and NEPA took light. So while NEPA took light, I had to stop working, right? And while NEPA took light, then I sat down. I was waiting for NEPA to hopefully they can bring light so I can finish that work that midnight. And I remember clearly that I received an instruction that come, okay. There was a particular in that same complex that we are. So there was a particular place that I was looking forward to that we could move that place because that place was bigger. We are from a shop, so that place was an apartment. And the instruction I received that night was to go inside the rain and go to that property that I was expecting God to and move around the property. It was midnight. I was even afraid that somebody will not call me that. What are you doing here? But it was still in the same building, right? And the instruction was that inside that rain, go move around and pray. So I prayed for like 30 minutes around that building and told God that come, I know that you can do this, you can do that. And I remember clearly that it was somebody was in that apartment, and not less than 1 month or 2 months, the person said he was parking away. I just came to the office like that. I said, somebody's parking away. Wow. So that place is empty. Before you know, I don't know, opportunity came. We were able to move there. And from there, we are even the old. I never even knew that God's instruction was even bigger. It was telling me the old building that I walked around. I thought it was just a part. So we took a part from there. Later, we now extended even bigger. So right now, we're even using the whole floor. So that's how powerful some of the ideas, or how powerful. But a lot of things about ideas is that it will first come from an idea, but you now even need an idea to even make it bigger, right? It evolves, right? So a lot of us always feel like you have a great idea. It doesn't stop there. So that's just the starting point. As you continue to work on it, more ideas will now be coming. But that idea will not come in the place of just waiting or just sitting. There has to be some creativity involved. It's in the place of doing, as if your life depends on it. Some other instructions will come that will poof some of your businesses. So I had to put that story out there.
That's very profound. It's the place of doing that other instructions will come. Yeah, like they always say, when you get an instruction, don't worry about, when you have a vision, don't worry about provision, because pro would always
Because there's a
help.
vision. Even what we call provision is there. It has vision in it, pro and vision, right?
Yeah. So do the pro first, do the vision first, and the pro will be provided.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Thank you very much. I think I heard of. Okay, I'll share that later. But I want to ask you one question. And the reason I'm asking you these questions is because I know the industry that you work in, and I know how competing it can be. And after this question, I'll ask our last speaker one more question, and then we'll wrap up this call. So my question is, how do you prioritize tasks and stay focused amidst competing demands? Because I know the kind of work that you do. I know that sometimes you get so busy. How do you prioritize based on who pays more? I don't know. How do you do it?
Okay, so when it's very tricky, because in business, I've even seen that most of my big clients today, they came with 20,000 naira job. My biggest client today that pays me millions, whatever. I remember that the first work that they gave me was maybe 100,000, 30,000. That was how they started. You understand? So that is where customer is king comes in, that you have to treat every customer equal. There's no big customer, there's no small customer. So I can't say I will not prioritize based on, do you understand? So pretty much there's one thing I try and do when it comes to task is that what is very, very important. So I can have task. It's important, but I don't have to do it now. Right? So you need to know which one is very, very important and which one is time bound, right? So which one do I have to deliver like tomorrow morning? So I pretty much try and focus on. So time is a very good factor. Apart from time, is it even important? Is this something that I have to do? So a lot of time, because of I'm in the talent management business also. So that is I train people, then we grow their talent. So I don't do much of the stuff. So I have people that get to do some of those stuff. So I delegate if I feel like it's not very important. So it will still be done to the level of excellence that needs to be done. So I just delegate it.
Okay. I like the fact that you mentioned delegation, collaboration, all those things are important. And because of places that I've worked in, people that I've worked with, I saw that a lot of people don't do that. They don't delegate. They don't like to share their work with other people, right? Because they are scared. We're having a discussion the other day, and you said that there's somebody who doesn't want to teach other people because he's scared of creating competitors for himself. Do you remember that?
Yes. I remember.
Yes. I have met people like that, and it's shocking. Why would you have that kind of mindset? So mindset is really important. You need to have a mindset of collaboration, a mindset of delegation, a positive mindset. That's all that there is. Thank you so much. If you have any question, I think we have to wrap up now, but anybody that has just one more question, just put it in the chat. We'll take it while I take this question. This question is directed to our second speaker, Mrs. Fasunoro. So my question is, in your experience, right, what are the common pitfalls that you as a person has encountered, or people generally encounter when they are trying to turn their dreams into reality? So what do you think are the pitfalls that people encounter, the problems people encounter? I don't know if you've mentioned it, I'm getting confused, but really, what do you think are the challenges that people face when they are trying to build something from scratch, turn their dreams into reality?
So I think for me, some of the pitfall is not assessing, not having a clear vision, not assessing that thing properly, and then you just jump into it. So yes, you have a dream that, oh, okay, let me use doctor again. I want to be a doctor. You have not assessed it that, oh, it's going to take 5 years in med school, housemanship, this, that, and then you just jump into it. You have not prepared yourself mentally that, okay, oh, this is how long, and then you now get to year 3. What am I going, For me, I think you should assess it first. Assess yourself as well. Then I think a lot of people really why their dreams don't become reality is, again, they don't know why. So why has this dream been given to you? A lot of people, when we have talent, when we have dreams, when we have passion, we just think the next thing is to make money with it. I think we need to dig deeper. We are not people that think these days. A lot of us are just drifters, just moving around here. You need to be a thinker. Why have you been given this dream, this vision? Why have you been given it? And I think when you take proper, ownership of it, when you think deeply about it, then it can guide your study. Okay, I need to go for training in this thing. You will not follow the bandwagon. So when people are saying, oh, yes, you have been given a vision to be a doctor, that you will treat people. But then, because everybody is going for gynecology, you go for gynecology. Whereas maybe your own is to solve cancer. Maybe your own is to be a surgeon, a heart surgeon or something. So, but if you do not sit down and really think about why you have been given this dream, why has God placed it in your heart to be an event planner? Is it to post? Is it for the hype of it? Oh, I'm an event planner, blah, blah, blah. It's not going to work. So I think don't follow the bandwagon. Truly think about this dream, this vision that you want to, you want to achieve. Then don't let fear hold you down. I've heard it, and a lot of things I've done it because of my personality. I'm always like, why are you giving me this dream? You could have given somebody else. Why me? So I do a lot of things afraid, because I also understand the fact that, when a dream has been given to you, it's not for you. There's a higher purpose. There's a God that's seen a problem somewhere and it's like, okay, it's so big that can shed light on this thing. So I do it afraid sometimes. So don't let fear, I see fear, pull a lot of people down. I see procrastination. Oh, I'll do it. Oh, I'm young. I still have time. I remember my son will always say, Mommy, I'm still a child. Why are you telling me to do this? No, you're not a child. Now, so a lot of us have that, notion that, oh, I'm still a young girl. I'll do it later. And then most of the success stories that we are seeing now, a lot of people are in their 50s. Maybe EPFP did it at 70, why am I in a rush and everything? We all have our times. We all have what the time God has given to us. So do it now. Do it afraid. I think that's one of the things. And then not starting early. For some people, yeah, I think I've dealt with that. Then not starting, I think for me, whenever you're trying out something, start small. Don't just jump into it. You jump, if you blow, you scatter. Try and grow in that thing. Okay, try and take it one step at a time. Don't take too long in it, because with dreams, like Michael said, instructions are not, given at once. It's just ideas are not fully formed. Yeah, I think that's the word. So when an idea comes, go for it. One of the things that has really, really helped me this year is the fact that, before the end of last year, I joined a program and it was just telling us about implementing and all of that. And I got that word. Once something comes to your mind, go implement it. Don't try to figure it out. A lot of us overanalyze things. And I've heard it time and overanalysis leads to paralysis. When you overanalyze stuff, then it will not become a reality. And then when you share stuff too early, have a dream, like Joseph, I'm going to tell everybody, calm down, let it form, grow that thing. And then you can now, so those are the things I think are pitfalls for people when it comes to, making their dreams a reality.
Thank you so much for that. Thank you very much for that. Please, everyone, I would like you to please drop in the chat 1 thing, 2 things, 3 things that each speakers have said that's stuck with you. Put them in the chat. Let's see, how far you've been listening. So put them in the chat. Also, if you're not following us on social media, please do so. Our handle on Instagram is inspired_for then impact. Inspired_for impact. We share a lot of insightful things that we think that everyone should know about. On YouTube, you can always watch our past sessions on YouTube at Inspired for Impact by Victoria Ibawa. So Instagram, it is for Impact. On YouTube, it is Inspired for Impact by Victoria Ibawa. You can go and check all of our past sessions. You should also follow Mrs. Victoria Ibawa on our own social media platforms. Thank you very much for showing that. On our social media platform. So you can follow her on Instagram at Victoria Ibawa, LinkedIn, Victoria Ibawa as well. Mrs. Victoria Ibawa is somebody that she is a role model. She's a role model. I'm not saying this because, no, I'm saying this because I know her actually. She's a role model. There are so many things that you can learn in a session with her. I remember that she took a sermon in church last year. My dad happened to be in church that day. And after the sermon, my dad came to meet me and said, who is that woman? Who is that woman? My dad is not somebody that is usually impressed easily, but he was so impressed. So she's not giving you textbook knowledge. She has insight. So I think that if you really want to go the next step in your career in life, you should follow us, follow Victoria Ibawa, follow Inspired for Impact on our social media platforms. Please keep dropping anything that has stood out for you in the chats. Yeah. What has stood out for me is when our second speaker said, when a dream has been given to you, it's not for you. When a dream has been given to you, it's not for you, right? My pastor would say that you are too small to be the purpose of God for your life. God didn't create you because of you. He created you because he needs you to be a channel of blessing to other people. So when a dream has been given to you, it's not for you, right? And I'll never forget what our first speaker said when he said, business without creativity is victimization. And I mean, creativity without business is victimization. The business without creativity is a sheer waste of time. So please, I want us to hold all of those comments dear. So right now we are wrapping up the session and I'll be calling up our convener, Mrs. Victoria Ibawa, to share more insightful things with her. Oh, somebody just shared their take home. All right. Aurora Ike says, creativity is highly dependent on your exposure and developed capacity. Business needs creativity both to surmount challenges and to make tangible impact. Very insightful. Shows that you've been following back to back. So we have a book recommendation here, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. That's where you will get those 4 quadrants that our first speaker was talking about when he said something that is very important but not urgent, very urgent, very important. So there are 4 quadrants. You can find them in 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. I think that's written by Stephen Covey. So if you've not done so, check it out. And okay, Mrs. Victoria Ibawa puts here one of the key points. As you continue to work, more instructions will come for bigger things. Don't forget what we talked about on when you run with the vision, provision will come. When you run with the instruction, more instructions will come, right? You know, provision will meet you in the place of doing. So yeah, right now I'm going to be calling on Mrs. Victoria Ibawa to share with us final statement. So you have the mic, Mrs. Ibawa. Please go for the mic. Thank you.
I don't know what to say at this point. I've taken so much notes and it's just been an amazing session. And as is typical of me, I'm just going to say a few things. It is really going to be a waste if you come in for every of our programs, you know, and you don't do anything about it. Last program, for those of you who were here last month, I talked about 4 types of people that you can break into 4 quadrants. The first 25 who will leave the session and begin to act. The second 25 who would take their time, contemplate, and at some point they would act. The third 25, they will think about it, maybe or not. And then the last 25, as they leave this session, they won't even remember anything that they got from this session. So my question is, which of the 25% do you belong to? I really don't even know where to start. The things we have heard, they've been mind-blowing. I want to ask, if you're on this call at this point, please help me give a virtual clap to our amazing speakers. You would agree with me that they spoke from their hearts. Please, I want to see your emojis, your clap. You know, let's just give them a resounding clap. Is it about ideas not being fully formed? Just start. Is it about that your circles matter? Is it about that you need to build character as you're building competence? Is it about the ideas coming in the place of doing? Like, I really don't even know if there's the gems that they have dropped. Just pick one thing, starting small. And let me say this, some people might be here thinking, oh, it's about business, they're about business people. Every single thing they have said, you can apply to your career. And so my last comment, I will say this, that both of them said, albeit in different ways. One, Michael was speaking when he was faced with challenges. He realized that this idea is not from him, it's his source. His source gave that idea. The other speaker, Mrs. Fafsulo, was speaking, Toby was speaking, and she said, your idea is bigger than you. In fact, Michael also said the same thing. Your idea is not for you. So the ideas that God has placed in your heart, even if you are not, you don't believe there's a God, the things you are passionate about, the things that cause you worry, the things that as you're walking around the streets, you are irritated, you are saying, why is this way? That's an idea. There's a burden on you, the things that you know are not being done well. But I will say two things to you, two things. The same way it has dropped in your heart is the same way somebody else is going to pick up the ideas. There's something about early starters. And I don't know, I can't remember which of the speaker was saying that. So as you leave this session, I'm also speaking, I'm not a speaker, so I'm speaking from the place of some regrets I have on a personal note. As you leave this session, go and start. You don't have to have everything. If you need to fail, fail. If you need to, the light bulb, 1,000, how does somebody fail 1,099 how many times? And then at the 1,000th time, he got it right. That's why you and I have the bulb today. So have you gotten an idea before that you failed out? The fact that you attended this session today is now that wake-up call to go back. Somebody said, one of the speakers also said, go learn. Go and learn. Another one said, when I face challenges, I retreat and I review. The other one said, go for training. So even when you face challenges, you failed before, go back. What did we get wrong? Have I trained enough? See, I don't want to be repeating everything, but please, you can hear from me the passion that I have for this topic. And I can tell you that these guys have not shared things that they've shared so much, but there's some things they don't have the time to share. The other thing I will say, I said two things. The other, apart from you implementing, somebody said something. When we say that the grave is the richest place, one is because there's so much resources that was not put to use. But most importantly, is the place where we have the biggest regrets. On your deathbed, you won't regret the mistakes you made. You won't regret the businesses that failed. You won't regret the steps that you took. They didn't turn out well. Time, experience, people who've lived long has proven that the greatest regret that man will have is the things they didn't try. Is the things, the ideas God gave you and you didn't put to use. So I'm going to end it here on that note. Please, I really want to appreciate Michael Yusuf, Toby Fafsulo. You guys have been so amazing. And I assure you, we are bringing you another time again. Next month, our session for next month is going to be a book club. Like I said earlier, we hope to see you. We're going to be sending the link out for the book club for you to join the sessions as we review the details of the book. If you're on our mailing list, you will get it. And I'm going to close this session right now by saying a big thank you to everybody. But if I have a minute, our board chairman, I saw him on the call. I don't know if he's here. If you want to say a word, Mr. Abimbola, please, Olujide, if you're on the call, I don't know if you're still here. Inspire for Impact is a registered NGO. We have our board chairman on the call. I don't know if you're still on the call. Please, I would like to give you the honor to wrap up the session if you're still on the call. Please help me unmute Mr. Abimbola Olujide. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Victoria, and thank you so much to our speakers. I think your wrap-up was just superb. You captured it all. I am also leaving this seminar with a couple of nuggets that I'm going to work on to refine my own life and my approach to developing ideas and advancing careers, and as well as even counseling other people. I feel quite a lot of things have been added to me. The key among them today is the fact that, number one, your company matters. The people you share your life with matters. And number two, start. No matter how small your seed is, your start. Thank you very much to everybody who has participated. We quite appreciate your presence here today, and we look forward to seeing you in our subsequent meetings. So have a very nice and God bless you. Bye.
Thank you. Thanks, everyone. Please go follow us on YouTube so that you can get the recording. If you haven't done that already, please go follow immediately on YouTube. Thanks, everyone. Do have a beautiful rest.